Hi, I'm so glad that I wrote this down actually. So I'm here to talk about my lived experience and comment on what worked and what may have prevented me from being in the cycle of complex, chaotic consequences that had me bouncing from disastrous situation to another, from probation to mental health services, from community drug services to prison, domestic violent relationship to refuges, and yet struggling to get the full support I needed. I've read through the female offender strategy and feel excited that this is being implemented and a solution to prevent unnecessary offending behaviour. I'm a big advocate for positive systems change. Oh my God, I'm shaking so much. I started committing petty crime in my late teens, shoplifting mainly, as a way of feeding my addiction to drugs. I couldn't stop using. The help I was given was substitute prescribing, which just kept me in the cycle of addiction and crime. My crimes progressed, and as my habit grew, so by the time I went to prison in my late 30s, I was given an 18-month sentence for a multitude of serious offences. It's taken me until now, the last 2 years, to realise that I wasn't given the right support I needed to properly deal with my issues. There was no trauma-informed therapy, no specialised courses to deal with negative self-belief that I had and the dangerous behaviour. I never looked at my cycle of domestic violence or healing the wounds from having sex worked. I couldn't get mental health support until I dealt with my addiction, which all kept me locked in painful patterns of behaviour. I have been fortunate to have found Nelson Trust, as they have been the one and only women's service which offered proper trauma-informed community courses after the rehabilitation that I received, which enabled me to change and function well in society. I did courses specifically designed for women, helping women in recovery, pattern changing, which dealt with my relationships and beyond anger and violence, which is 3 examples of groups which contributed to me dealing with my problems root and branch, rather than just minimising harm. I have not needed to commit any crime in the last 2 years. I haven't caused any harm to society. My self-esteem and confidence has grown, and I can honestly say that doing things like this, being involved in lived experience groups, has all meant that my past can be used for some greater good. I wholeheartedly believe that more money given to effective therapeutic community services will help women like me change in a lifelong, lasting way. I can guarantee that very few, if any, women or young people dream of growing up to be criminals addicted to drugs. I aspire to make movies, write books, and go on adventures. I am one of the fortunate ones who found help to reconnect with my dreams as a young girl. I wonder how my life would have been different if I'd have received earlier intervention and offered more effective community services. Thank you for inviting me to share my experience and allowing me to contribute in a small way to supporting strategies like this one and systems change.
Lisa, thank you. Really inspiring. I know how hard it is standing here talking to us, so thank you hugely for that.